Was good, y'alls? Dr. Evil Genius here. Dr. Evil is here in the early AM. Well, not early for me. I've already been working on my way home. Trying to get some Gatorade in my system. Oh, man. Refreshing. All right. Let's get it. I know a lot of these ladies, they're really happy that quarantine is over because they get to show off that body that they can complain about people looking at. Yeah. We already know how society is. Like, yo, I'm so excited. People are going to look at me. And then I can get really upset because people looked at me like I wanted them to. All right. So good morning, y'alls. I'm already done my session, my in-person session. Now I'm actually rushing to get a remote session in for the client. So, making sure that this is tightened up. Oh. So, yeah, pretty interesting morning. And I'm one of these people that I cherished every moment that I spent away from human beings that I don't already know and love. I know a lot of people, especially you extroverts out there, are really struggling with not having contact with the outside world and the masses that dwell within. I I was very, very happy to be away from people. If you would have given me a COVID lockdown for another 10 years, I'd have been like, yay! Because I really like to be, I really like to, do my own thing. But, um, you know, some of the familiar faces at the gym, I'm happy to see those guys. But there was this one really funny interaction with this one dude. I was doing a strength test. Hi, Sonia, how you doing? I was doing a strength test with a client, and I was very, very unhappy with his approach to what we were doing because I have high expectations. I have very high expectations. So for him specifically, because he's known for having a large chest. So if we're doing a bench press and you can't move weight, I'm like, come on, guy, let's go. So I'm coaching my guy. We're in a bodybuilding gym in the basement, right? And this guy really effeminately, can you keep it down? And I just stared at this motherfucker like, what? I'm like, yo, this is a fucking gym. Um, it, you want library conditions? Go work out in the library. I'm not trying to hear that shit from you. I'm trying to coach my client. Dude, if you don't get the fuck out my face, fuck out of here with that. We're over here clanging and banging. We got iron moving all over the place, banging. If you don't shut the whole fuck up about, man, yeah, I never saw that guy before in my life. So I'm like, yo, I really don't give a fuck about your sensibilities. All due respect, which isn't much. I'm just like, yo, like I really, really could not give a fuck about your sensibilities. Talking to me at all when you're supposed to be working with your trainer is too loud. Because instead of worrying about what I'm doing with my client, your job is to do what your trainer tells you to do. So you're already talking too loud because you're talking at all. The world doesn't revolve around you, sir. Yeah, if you want to do earplugs, or you can go work out at the library. This is a legendary bodybuilding gym where motherfuckers get work in. Where private trainers get their coaching. And if you don't like the way it's done, go somewhere else. And would tell you to go suck a dick. No. Yeah, my phone overheated, y'all. Ain't that about a bitch? I'm like, yo, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Sorry about that, y'all. It might cut off again because I don't know what it is about my iPhone. I'm gonna try to turn the temperature down super low um, on my phone on my car. But yeah, it was like, yeah, your iPhone is too hot to use. Like, what the fuck? I just turned this shit on. The fuck is wrong with y'all? Apple? Shit. But anyway, most of the dudes at the gym are cool. You know, a lot of these guys are like super cool guys. But you always get that one guy that wants to be the Karen that thinks that like the world revolves around them. And I'm like, yo, no, the world does not revolve around you, sir. If you got an issue with gym related stuff happening in the gym, then fuck off. I'm not here for you. You don't pay me. I don't know what it is with people that just think that, the world is my oyster. I don't give a fuck about your oysters. I'm here to do my job the way I do it, the way my clients pay me to do it. So, yeah, go fuck yourself. But it's all good. You know how people can be. So I'm not really worried about it. Um, I ain't worried about it. But anyway, something really cool happened. Those that know, who've been paying attention on the Talking Shit podcast, um, da, 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 I suffered a needless back injury like 9 days ago. Uh, I was doing what I was supposed to be doing. That is true. That is true, sir. That is true. Um, yeah, I was doing some hip hinge related motions. I was doing 10 sets of 10. So I was going for 100 reps. My brain checked out on one rep. My back seized up. Man, oh man. The pain, the stiffness, the inability to move was like, okay, lesson learned. Those that know, my back have been messed up for well over 2 years. Um, and I found the way, y'all. One of my good friends at the gym, every time I see him, every time I see him, he's uh yo, what up, Junie? Every time I see him, he's deadlifting. He's always got a smile on his face. He always has a good attitude. Always, 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 always. Even though he's way physically stronger than me, he allows me to give him coaching, especially when I'm working with a client where I want, because the thing is, he's so fucking strong. So strong. And I get to kind of teach other people how to move by watching the movements that he does. And he moves really, really well. He moves really well under most circumstances. But then, if his brain checks out, his movement patterns break down. and then my clients can learn from that as well. And he's a super good sport. So I think it was warming up to hit like 400 or something like that. And he had, I want to say he had 300 and I think he had 335 on the bar. I think he had tens on there. He might have had fives. It was 325 or it was 335. Okay. Now I'm going to take you back in history. I fucked my shit up. Um, and Lewis can attest to this. Um, I could barely move 225 because my back was so jacked up. So after, days of really not being able to move, I say, can you just, allow me one rep when he was done with his set, obviously. Don't ask people for shit in the gym until they're done with their goddamn set. Don't be that guy. When he was done with his set, I was like, yo, you mind if I, just kind of get a cold lift in? Meaning that I didn't warm up. I was basically just walking into over 300 pounds in a deadlift. Okay. Very good question. The answer is yes. Because if you hit the lower back just the wrong way, when the back muscles tighten up, it puts pressure on the nerves, the peripheral nerves that then go down in your legs. And yes, the weakness, is awful. It's awful. That was much of the last week. I didn't really lift at all in the week, and you can see how deflated my muscles look because I haven't really been on my shit. But I walked up to the bar and I moved the goddamn bar. Coming off of, it wasn't like a huge back injury, but it was enough to, for my body to be like, no, stop, please don't. I had not moved over 300 pounds on the bar in over 2 years. So to walk up to it after another minor back injury, to walk up to the bar, cold, no warm up, no nothing. I just walked up to the bar, 3 plates plus 10 or 20, because I wasn't really paying attention if he had 5-pounders on the end or if he had tens, but somewhere 325, 335, cold. Coming out of the pandemic, haven't moved, and my dumbbells go up to 75 pounds each, so the most that I can move is 150 pounds. To move more than twice that cold off a back injury, I am riding high right now. Like, I'm like, yo, I am excited. I am excited. Not being able to really lift heavy since age 36, and now I'm 38. And I can see my path. I can see, yeah, it was 425 because I was thinking, I was like, yo, my highest is, I'm only 100 pounds off. I'm 100 pounds off. Yeah, this is normally the case, traditionalists, but I'm talking about me understanding my body and knowing that there was no structural damage, that it was more of, a cranky, you know, I mean, it definitely didn't feel like a minor injury. I'll say that it didn't feel minor, but when I realized I can move all of my extremities, and that the only thing was stopping me was my body just tightening up all my muscles around my pelvis. Um, oh, the experiences that I had trying to do normal things with a tight lower back. I mean, some of this shit would just make you laugh, let me tell you. Because I can tell you. Oh, man. Oh, man. That shit. You know who I'm talking about, yo. You know who I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking to. But anyway, gotta merge. I'm gonna talk to you guys about car insurance for a minute. Not saving 15%, with a 15-minute phone call. Not that. I want to talk to you about car insurance in the city of New York, okay? Right quick. Right quick. One of the things that I love about switching car insurances all the time is that I end up getting better car insurance rates um, each time I switch. So every 6 months, you guys should be shopping around to see what your car insurance rates could be, okay? Now, I ended up going with a company that I'd never heard of before, but got a lot of really good reviews called Travelers. And apparently, they are not allowed in the state of New York to put a spy device in your vehicle. So um, they gave me a better car insurance rate than the car insurance people that were wanting to put a spy device in my car, which, they measure, how fast you go, how fast you accelerate, how fast you decelerate, and, they affect your, your insurance rates, based upon whether you drove at night, or how many miles you drove, how far away from your house you drove, if at any point you went above 80 miles per hour, or if you accelerate too quickly because you want to enjoy your vehicle, you know. Um, so uh, I was told by Travelers Insurance, even as they gave me a better car insurance rate than all the other ones that wanted to put a spy device, we're not allowed to put a spy device in your car. So now I get to merge in traffic and not cause an accident. And then if I really just want to feel the exhilaration of accelerating off the line, I can do that and not have to worry about my car insurance going up. So if you're in New York State, check out Travelers. Yo, what up, Carbon? Yeah. Lumbar discs, you got to be really, really, really careful. Now, the thing is that I didn't really do anything. Um, that was impacting the back. Um, I just I transferred some of the load that should have stayed on my hamstrings and glutes because I mentally checked out, and instead of doing the motion, I was mimicking the motion. And I'll talk to you guys about that concept on the Talking Shit podcast when you'll see me working with Captain Paul, and we will talk about a lot of these motion concepts. But I did not put the load on my spine. The load went on my spinal erectors near the sacrum, near the sacral spine, which is below the lumbar spine. So what that did was all of those muscles around the sacrum, which is really around the pelvis. So the top of my glute seized up and the lower part of my lumbar spine also seized up because the problem was near the sacrum. So I knew that it was a muscular issue. Clinks is in the motherfucking building. I'm still in my old Benz. Wow, carbon transporting. All right, all right. Yeah, I'm still in my old car. My new car will not be around until sometime in October. Speaking of October, your boy Dr. Evil is gonna be on a boat at the end of October. SS Never Ender. I will be on my very first cruise, um, sailing from Miami towards the Bahamas and back again over a 5-day stretch. Really fucking exciting. Coheed and Cambria put together this event. So, we're putting down more than 4 grand to do this and hoping that it's going to be a lot of fun. What car did I get? I didn't get the car yet. I only ordered it, Carbon. I only ordered it. Um, but I did order the two. I don't know. I don't know because I only know by what happens at the factory. But it's going to be a 2021 or 2022 Mercedes-Benz GLE 450 with all the fixins. I mean, that shit is going to be luxurious as fuck. Way better than the car I'm in right now. Way better. Way better. But good things comes to those who wait, right? I mean, it's not like I'm in a trashy piece of shit car, but compared to the compared to the current generation, because I'm in the last generation Mercedes Benz. I'm in the GLE 350. I cannot wait to get that air suspension system. I got the AMG body styling. Um, I didn't want to go up to like the AMG 53 or anything like that because it would have been a whole lot more money to drive, an AMG in a city where the average speed is probably around 5.5 miles per hour, probably somewhere in that range. It might be a little bit quicker than that. But like before the Rona, traffic in New York City was moving at an average rate of 4.6 miles per hour. So like when you guys saw that, like my first driving stream was over 45 minutes. That was a 6.3 mile per hour drive. Not a 6.3 mile per hour, but a 6.3 mile drive that took 45 minutes. 45 minutes. So I know that a lot of you, and I know a lot of you are like interested in like people who are driving, especially in New York City. I know a lot of you that watch Louis Rossman on his bike or in his car. You'll see, something very similar to that. Oh my God, somebody's driving New York City. We got to see what this is really like because we know what the reputation is of how difficult it is to drive in New York City. Yeah. Okay, you could let me by. Thanks, sir. Much appreciated. Yeah, I could have probably made that light if you got the fuck out my way. But anyway, am I into BMW? My very first car, I got my driver's license at the end of 2015. I ordered my first car was a 2016 BMW X5. That was my first car. But I really wanted to try the Mercedes version of what a luxury SUV is. And I found that I liked the more comfortable ride quality of the Mercedes. Right, the BMW, it has more of a sport suspension. It's not really a sport suspension, but it's definitely tuned more towards that. Also, the BMWs of I guess of that era um, came standard with run flat tires, which are notoriously which provides which are notorious for providing a rougher ride. So I don't have run flat tires um, on the Mercedes Benz. They're softer tires. It's a much more comfortable ride, and I really care about the comfort for my passengers. Because one of the things that I was wanting to do is like, I don't know, make friends, and then like we would go places in my car. I would just want people to be comfortable. It's one of the reasons why I got an SUV and not a sedan, because I'm 6'3". I want the people sitting behind me. If I got friends that are my height or taller, which I do have. They don't live around me, but I do have friends that are my height or taller. The people sitting behind me, I want them to be able to be comfortable. Clinks asked, want me to do a thumb for this channel as well. I'm going to be doing this driving series. You know, I sat here with Mrs. Evil. She rode with me earlier this morning, and I was like, hey, I need you to help me come up with a thought. And she was like, no, you should probably call my sister for that. And I was just like, oh. And then it hit me. Oh, genius, take the wheel. We gonna go with that. Nah, we gonna go with that. So, Clinks, if you wanna, make a theme, genius, something, I don't know. I trust you. You wanna make a thumb for this? Go right on ahead, and we'll figure out something fun. I'm gonna watch this guy on a bike. We got bike lanes everywhere now. Oh yeah, that's cool, Clinks. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. I'll get to comments when I'm not actually, you know, operating the vehicle. Let's get through here right quick, because that didn't make any sense. I had to turn on the AC in the car. I might have put the phone too deep in the clamping car holder thingy. That might have made the phone overheat. There was no space for dissipation. I put some space in there. It still heats up a little bit. Carbon says, do you see any sports cars in the city? All the time. Most of them are American. Um, yeah, Carbon, but to answer Carbon's question, yeah, hell yeah. Um, like I drove past a Mercedes SL when I got off the BQE, the Brooklyn Queens Expressway. Um, right when I was kind of like turning onto one of these blocks. I don't know what the name of the fucking street is. I just know how to get home. Past a Mercedes SL, you will see nice cars. The deeper you get into Brooklyn, you're not really gonna see like a lot of nice cars. But in Manhattan, especially if you're down by Battery City, or sometimes like around Times Square, certain areas of the city, you'll see some really crazy cars. Um, if you go like around like Columbus Circle, where billionaires hide their money from the government in real estate. Um, I went to do a personal training session once in a building like right there. It was like I think 15 Central Park West, and I went in there with my late model BMW, and I felt like a fucking bum. I felt like a fucking bum, yo, cause like you go in there, and the crappiest car is a Porsche 911. That's the shittiest car in the lot. So I pulled up in my little Beamer, and I was just like, stay humble, stay humble. So, some areas of the city, you're going to find some really, really nice cars. But most of them are going to be like highbrow luxury shit. Most of them. But occasionally, you'll see a Lambo. Occasionally, um, you'll see, something that's like really high up there. Um, but it's mostly SUVs. It's mostly, luxury. If you see like nicer cars, like I'm passing a Range Rover Velar right now. Uh, I did want a Velar, but they didn't really want to lease me a car, so I was like, okay, you don't want to lease me a car, fine. But I did really want to try the Range Rover Velar. Like I'm one of these people that I didn't really experience overt racism until my adult years. And I lived in predominantly white areas as a teenager before, so I didn't really experience overt racism from white people, I should say, until, my 30s, Maybe because I didn't put myself in a lot of positions like that in New York, but I did notice that when um, going to car dealerships, you know, you really want to go where they're going to treat you with respect. Um, and um, I can tell you that Mercedes of Manhattan, I've gotten respect walking in the door, and at Manhattan Porsche, I've gotten respect walking in the door. Now, most of the people at BMW seem to be okay, but that one salesperson they linked me up with basically, treated me as if I was some nigger wasting his time. So that's when I went to go lease my vehicle, I went to go lease it in New Jersey because I don't play that shit. But I can definitely tell you that um, when I went to Jaguar Range Rover, awful, awful customer service from the sales. It was just like they were not interested in even negotiating with me for me to get into a car I wanted to be in. Like they were not even really interested in negotiating with me at all. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. You don't want me to get you don't want to sell any cars? No problem. I will go somewhere else. Shout out to Parental. How you doing, buddy? I don't know how I got my parking spot back, but I did. I did, y'all. I did. 1 second, folks. So, great morning. I got pulled over for window tint and speeding. No! Gee, just take the wheel. Oh my God. No. Yeah, Sonia, I can't speak to this, but I will say that that is probably my experience. Like, I don't believe that there's a whole lot of gender discrimination in the world, but when it comes to like dealing with women in cars, I definitely know for a fact that there is a bias against women. Some of that bias is rooted in like good sense because most women don't know about cars and don't care. They just want to make sure that when they press the button that the car turns on and that the car works. That's all they care about, right? But I do know that salespeople will occasionally try to take advantage of women. So when I went to go help my ex get her first car, which was like maybe 5 or 6 weeks ago, I went to go help her. I took her to my guy, and she didn't get fucked over. So, but really, I tell all of my friends and family, male and female, that before you make any technological purchase, you should consult the most technically savvy among you. And for most of the people I know, I'm that guy. So, you know, I'm a person that loves to do my homework on products before I purchase them. I love doing that. It is fun. So I went and then, she wanted me to take her to like used car dealerships or whatever. I'm like, nah, you need to see something better. And we're going to be talking about that on the Talking Shit podcast. So definitely make sure you subscribe to TSP. Um, we had a very, very heavy topic yesterday, but, I'm going to be talking to the audience about why it is worth working hard for the finer things in life. Because as a person that grew up below poverty, I can tell you that a lot of the things that I have seen and experienced, very, very eye-opening. So it's important to always try to keep your head up and to know that there are some really nice things out there in the world to work hard for, and there are more benefits to some of these things than that meet the eye. So I'm going to be covering that on TSP as I develop the concept. Work hard, folks. Work hard. Parento. My ass was not feeling good after the gym, so I just wanted to get home. Got caught doing 43 and a 30. You only got a warning. You know what it is, son? I know why you got the warning. You got a warning because they know you dropped Diat, son. They know you dropped Diat. You're like, yo, he's the GOAT in IW, so we're gonna let him off. But folks, yo, I want to thank y'all. Yo, Parental, you got to hit me up when you're going on IW. Let me know, and I'll jump on there with you because I haven't been on IW in a while. So I need you to put me in your backpack so I can get more gaming content going. Um, so let me know if you're gonna get on there. So we do that shit. Um, but yeah. Uh, Yeah, I guess that's it. I got a client in an hour. I got my parking spot back. Um, so I'm good. I want to thank y'all for joining me on this ride. I'm going to be doing this pretty often. In fact, I think that I'm probably a lot of the times when I'm in the car and I don't feel like listening to music, um, I'll be hanging out with you guys. I'm about to say on TSP. No, this is Dr. Evil. So, yes, Dr. Evil Genius signing off. Look for me Thursday morning. And tell your friends. We're going to have some fun conversations with me on the roads and streets of New York. So, see you later.